and I'm doing a book review on the book Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So there's going to be spoilers. So please read the book before watching the video. So here's a quick description of the book. 19 years after the Battle of Hogwarts, it was always difficult being Harry Potter, and it is much easier now that he is an overworked employee of the Ministry of Magic, a husband, and a father of 3 school-aged children. While Harry grapples with the past that refuses to stay where it belongs, his youngest son, Albus, must struggle with the weight of a family legacy he never wanted, as past and present fuse ominously. Both father and son learn the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes darkness comes from unexpected places. So, my book review. 1 out of 10 stars for this book. I would have to give it a 10 star. This is the best Harry Potter book that they have. And the only bad thing is if you're doing AR, accelerated reader, this is only a 6-point book, and it should be like a 10-point book. So, okay, my description on the book. That when I was reading all that stuff, it was on here. But my description. So, it shows Harry Potter and his son. They're on the Hogwarts Express train little area, and they're waiting so the train can come to pick up his son. And then they're talking, and then his son goes, and then almost all of the family of Harry Potter, like Lily Potter and James Potter, they went to Gryffindor, and Harry went to Gryffindor, also Hermione and Ron, and then his son Albus went to Slytherin, with his friend called Scorpius, and Hermione's daughter named Rose also went to Gryffindor, but too bad Albus went to Slytherin. Okay, and then it's year 2, and then Harry, and then Albus and Scorpius, they're learning about this guy named Cedric Diggory who died in the Triwizard Tournament with Harry at the last task, the maze, with the people from Buxbottons and Durmstrang, with Cedric Diggory, Harry Potter, Flora DeClore, and Victor Crone. And then they want to use a time turner to go back in time. So then they learn about that and their dad, it works at Harry Potter works at the Ministry of Magic, and they heard rumors that the Ministry of Magic has a time turner. And then there's a girl named Delphi who is Cedric's dad's niece, so she's Cedric's cousin. And then when she agrees to help Albus and Scorpius to get the time turner. So they go to the area where Hermione's where they learn, and then there's a time turner inside all these books, and then what's it called? And then it's year 3 at Hogwarts. And then they're at the school doing all this stuff, and then they're learning about potions. And then it quickly just glances over year 3 in this book. So then, finally, and then at year 4, they start their mission. They go to, They go to the Forbidden Forest. And while they're there, Harry's talking to a centaur named Bane, and Bane is telling him that his son has a darkness around him. And then Harry's thinking that Scorpius is the darkness around him because Scorpius is his enemy's son named Draco Malfoy. So then, then Scorpius and Albus and Delphi are inside the Forbidden Forest, and then they say that Delphi shouldn't come with them, and then Delphi wants to come, so then Delphi finally does come. And then Albus is learning how to do the Expelliarmus charm, and then do it. So basically, it's a thing where they could take away their wands. So then Delphi looks at the book, and then it tells him how Cedric Diggory distracted the dragon, because that's what happened inside the first task. And then, so then they went back in time, and then Albus accidentally bumps into Hermione, and then Hermione gets all confused and all that stuff. And then randomly, Albus, when Cedric Diggory's trying to turn a rock into a dog so it distracts the dragon, Albus uses the Expelliarmus thing so he can take away the wand. And then the time turner starts vibrating, and then they go back in time. And then they find out that the time turner only works for 5 minutes. And then after that, pause. So then after that, Albus and Scorpius is year 5, and then they realize that it didn't work. And then Albus is inside of the head wing, which is the infirmary, and then Harry is talking to Albus. And since they went back in time, they altered their future. And then Harry is telling him all this stuff, and then they tell him that Albus actually is in Gryffindor in that world. And then Harry's telling Albus that he can't be near Scorpius, and then he's giving Professor McGonagall a murderous map so she could see whenever they're going with each other. So then they're talking about it, Albus and Scorpius, and they start getting sad and all that stuff. And then they go to the library, and then they're talking about it. And then Professor McGonagall doesn't want Harry Potter to also be like doing that. So then after that, Scorpius and Albus, when they're done talking, they get the time turner, and then they go back into time again to try to save Cedric once more. And Delphi is still there with them. And then in the second task, Cedric used a bubble head charm to go under the water and breathe. So then they made his head grow super big, so he started floating out of the water into the sky. And then they went into the future. And then, what's it called? And then Albus, he's not in the lake with Scorpius. And then Scorpius, he goes out of the water, and then there's a lady called Dolores Umbridge who used to be the headmistress, and she took Dumbledore's place one time in the 5th book of Harry Potter, but then Dumbledore took her down. And then Scorpius goes, and then everywhere he goes, he's the king and all that stuff. And Voldemort beat Harry Potter in the war, and Harry Potter's dead and all that. And then he sees that Voldemort's killing all the Muggles, and Muggles are basically human beings. So yeah. And then Scorpius, he goes back in time again, and then he saves Albus, and they're talking about it, and they're all scared. And then Delphi says that they have one more chance to go into the 3rd tournament, and after that they have no more chances. So then they're inside the maze, and then when they're about to go back in time, Delphi shows them their augury tattoos, and it's basically like this bird, and then she goes evil, and then she uses a forbidden spell on Scorpius, the Crucio spell, and then Polly Chapman, the guy, he walks into there to see what's happening, and then she kills him with the Avada Kedavra. And then after that, she drags him back into time, and then she almost leaves him there, but then Cedric Diggory saves them, and then they go back in time. Well, they don't go back in time, but Harry Potter is looking for them in time, but they can't find him. When Harry and Scorpius went to Harry Potter's old house when he was a baby, they saw the blanket, and earlier in the book, the blanket got spilled with love potion, so then they know that this type of like powdered stone will burn with a love potion. So then they put this powdered stone all over his blanket, so in the future Harry Potter can read this message on his blanket. And then they go back in time, and then they're waiting, and then they find out that Delphi is actually Voldemort's daughter. And then Hermione and Ron and all of them and Ginny are all hiding in the doors for Delphi to come. And then Harry Potter uses a Polyjuice potion to look like Voldemort. And then suddenly the Polyjuice potion wears off, and his hand turns into Harry Potter. And then he starts shrinking into the size of Harry Potter.
Stop.
And then Delphi starts getting all mad. And then they take Delphi to Azkaban, which is prison, and then after that, Voldemort comes and they watch as Harry's mom and dad die twice in a row, and then basically that's the end of the story. So, good job of. So, yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching my review. Bye.